Welcome back to episode 2 of the Odds Are Even podcast. Here always with the one, the only, the parlay poppy, if you will, Corey. Corey, how are you doing today, brother?
What's up, dog? Oh, same old shit, man.
Yeah,
Fucking,
you
how you
like that
doing?
snowmageddon? You like that
Oh,
snowmageddon?
dude, it's been insane. Work sucks.
Yeah,
Fucking trying to be a dad, and that sucks. Doesn't suck,
right.
but
It's tough, man.
they
When
need to
you're
make a book. It's $1 million idea.
make a book about what?
A guide, just like this
A
is how you
guide on
should do it.
how to be a working dad.
Oh yeah, and like take these steps, and your kid won't be a fucking criminal or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
It's
know about
insane.
that. I don't know if that's a book, man.
No, it's not. And then no, it's tough. It's tough.
Well, I'm sure everybody knows that the Armageddon, the Snowmageddon, has hit Kansas,
Yeah.
including the metro. It shut everything down around us.
How many days were you off work?
I was off Monday, and then Tuesday I was back trying to run again, and running into situations. I got sent out to a call that I had to put up a ladder, and I couldn't because there was an inch thing of
Yeah.
ice, sheet of ice, and then 2 foot snowdrifts all around the building, and they didn't clear anything. And so I was like, oh,
I think you
sorry,
guys
I can't.
got it a little worse than us. Did it snow there last night too?
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it I started a little later today, so it melted away, and it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
But
I was taking a semi today on back roads,
yeah,
and I'm telling you, my hands hurt so bad
white
gripping that
knuckling it.
steering, dude.
Oh,
And then I get stuck, like trying to go up back onto the highway, and then your back end starts going, and it's just like no, you just have to keep burning it.
right.
It is nuts. It was
Yeah,
nuts, bro.
it's stressful when it's an added stress to your work is snow. I've
Yeah,
been kneeling in the snow all week,
I
crawling in snow on roofs,
I
and yeah.
bet. Yeah, it's fun. That is fun,
But
brother.
now to other things that are actually fun.
Yeah.
We got some college football going on right now, man. There was a pretty damn good game last night. Did you watch that game at all?
Oh yeah. Oh
Dude,
yeah.
so Notre Dame beat Penn State to advance to the national championship. That game. It started out defense heavy. Didn't look like just long rushing drives from Penn State, and then at the end it just got crazy, and it was a fun game.
See, I went to sleep, so I'm not gonna lie about that. But
Okay, you missed the end of it, huh?
I missed the good part, bro. I missed
Yeah,
all.
the
I actually started laying down when it was 10-0 Penn State,
yeah,
and it looked like they were manhandling them. Penn State has all like Notre Dame doesn't have them big wide receivers, and like
right,
Penn State has that tight end who's a fucking monster, has
right.
a good QB, but I
Notre
was
Dame doesn't have a great line.
no, and they got the quarterback's a runner. He's a runner.
Yeah,
They they run up the middle, go outside, swing pass, and eventually something breaks.
right.
Um, that's what I was writing down. If Notre Dame could get a defensive turnover or
Yeah,
score on defense or special teams and get a lead, they could win this game. But I watched the replay this morning, and it was interception. That defense
yep,
pretty solid.
yeah, yeah. It was a fun time
I was thinking ahead, which what's the best championship matchup?
that we have right now that
Like,
could be
what's the
potential.
best possibility? Because honestly, well, I was thinking Ohio State's are would kill Notre Dame, but I'm thinking Texas would play Notre Dame would be a good game. But
Yeah.
the way Texas is playing with Ohio State right now, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I think the best matchup. I mean, realistically, at this point, I think that both Texas and Ohio State are going to put. It's going to be a good game. I hope.
Yeah,
Um, I think there's a better opportunity for a blowout if Ohio State advances.
mm-hmm.
I think if Texas and Notre Dame play each other, it will be a closer game, and probably it'll probably be pretty defense focused. I think the defense is going to have to step up because they're both of their offenses aren't
Yeah.
super explosive. They're kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, Notre Dame had 82 passing yards in the Georgia game. I don't know what they had last night, but they're
I
not.
didn't check either. Yeah.
That's not their fucking forte, bro. And
Well, and it's funny to me because I was talking to a buddy earlier, and I don't see Leonard as like one. I don't see him advancing to the next level. Like I don't
no,
see him,
I thought that same
you
thing
know,
last night. He's not a professional quarterback.
no. Well, and because like he's not like an explosive runner like
Mm-mm.
Lamar or any of those guys or Daniels or anything like that. He's not that,
Yeah,
and he's not a passer.
yeah.
Like he's decent in the pass game, but he's not like that's not his forte. And so you can't be mediocre at two things and make it into the league. And
You,
we'll see if you can win a national championship with it.
you see these college players like that. I'm trying to think of some, but like some great college, they're just athletes and they're on a good
Right.
team and they can play. They play QB and but they will never. They probably try get on some practice squads, maybe
Right.
second string here or there, third string, and then Canadian football or whatever.
Then
But
go sell cars.
go sell cars and use yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I like more and more. I like the Notre Dame quarterback or coach.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that's what. I mean, he went into halftime and came. They came out a different team.
Right. Well, and he seems like the I hate the term, but he seems like a player's coach.
Yes.
And I find myself really liking players coaches, like McDaniels, like Reed,
Uh huh.
um, coaches that are just, you know, a little
Mm-hmm.
more personable. So
What do you think? Do you think Ohio State used it all? All their they used it all in the Oregon game.
uh I don't know, man. This game has been interesting because at points, Ohio's looked good, and then they just the same buddy I was talking to earlier, he said it perfectly. He was like, Ohio State needs to get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Watching this game, in all honesty, I did miss a little bit of it because of family,
Yeah.
and but the parts that I've seen, there's definitely been parts where both teams should have capitalized. I mean, there was a interception
After halftime.
after halftime, and
Mm-hmm.
Texas didn't do anything with it.
Mm-mm.
Now, I will say that that play Ohio State ran right before the half, that was the explosive breakaway, one play touchdown. That was great. I mean, back to back touchdowns, but their offense just seems kind of hit or miss tonight, maybe.
Yeah.
And that was
Will
just a sack right there.
see Will Howard. That's what I know Will Howard for. He'll when he played for K State, crazy, 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 and then dud,
Right. Big
dud.
games.
Yeah, I'm a little behind you, so I just saw the sack. Um,
Sorry.
but honestly, I'm liking to see this game is like this because that makes it. I was actually like kind of mad because I'm like, the championship game's gonna be a blowout. That's why I was thinking,
Right.
like this is the two teams that should be playing in the championship possibly, but a lot of the playoffs have been defensive oriented,
For sure.
and
Yeah, it's been
solid fucking defenses, man. And I forget that guy's name for Penn State. He's like their linebacker. He has a weird last name, but he's a fucking monster. He was been
yeah.
hurt. He's one of like the best players on the field at all times. I think.
Yeah, no, I think that the playoffs have been interesting. It's
Yeah,
not shaken out exactly the way that I thought it would, but it's definitely been very defense heavy. It's been a lot of offenses moving and stalling. And I think the interesting thing is it seems like everybody, kind of has a weak kicking game.
they do. The kickers
Um,
are not there.
yeah, Notre Dame doesn't necessarily have a great kicking game. Um, so
You saw Texas
I think
last
that
week.
Right. So I think that could potentially make the championship game interesting,
Yeah,
if it shakes out. If Texas
right.
can take this, because I mean they just got to stop there.
Jesus.
So
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a good one. I was hoping this game would go a little bit faster. We'd be like live. We might be on here at the live ending. That'd be cool.
yeah,
Um,
that would be cool.
and then one of us has to piss their pants for the stream to end on
so,
camera.
so I think that we'll maybe come back and we can touch in on college football throughout the
Yeah.
night on this game that we're watching. But
It's,
there's been a lot of happenings in the NFL. Those postseason cuts. Sorry, were you going to say something? Did I cut you
no, no,
off?
no. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. So obviously the season for most people is over, and
Yes.
we had a lot of coaching cuts.
Yeah. I
So
got.
do you want me to go through them real quick, or
Yeah. Do that. Then I
so
got a question
so
for you.
okay. So the Raiders cut Antonio Pierce. They also dropped their GM.
That was first year,
The
right?
That was a first year, yes. I actually noted those things too.
Okay.
I think we're on the same train.
Okay.
The Jags dropped Doug Penderson.
Peterson.
I think it was his third year,
Yeah.
and Pats dropped Gerard Mayo, and
Yep.
that's the first one, first year. And then the other vacancies in the coaching world right now, obviously the Jets dropping Saleh earlier this year, the Saints dropping Dennis Allen, and Chicago dropping Matt Eberflus.
And McCarthy got fired.
Did he?
Cowboys. Yeah.
How did I miss that? When did that
Yeah.
happen?
2, 3 days ago.
Holy shit! I don't know how I freaking
Yep.
missed that.
Yeah. People are thinking
Oh,
he's gonna possibly go to Chicago if they don't get that coach, the offensive coordinator from the fucking Lions. I got a question. Well, and then
okay,
one big thing to add to this, and the Giants keep their head coach and their
right.
fucking general manager.
Yeah, well, I was talking to somebody about that, and Daniel Jones scapegoated for that whole team for
Yeah,
one season. So we'll see what they do next season. But they're definitely all in the hot seat. But they
especially
should
with
be thanking Daniel Jones.
the shit that happened with Barkley, and we saw it all on camera happen.
Right.
Like, here's your sign,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Well, and
So
then Barkley turns around and
yeah,
destroys in the league the next year.
exactly. So I got. Why is it put on the coaches more than the GMs?
Well, I always think that there's like a trail. Like, so if you're having hard times, you're going to usually drop a coordinator, right? So
Yeah,
you're going to drop a coordinator, and that's basically like a warning shot to the
to the
coach
coach. Uh
and to
huh.
everybody. And then I think if you're having more issues, depending on the type of quarterback you have, you either sit your quarterback or cut your quarterback, if they're
Right.
expendable and not an elite quarterback. If you don't have that, then coach is next, and then
General manager.
GM.
So the general
So,
manager for the Jaguars, um, he was he was 4-22 before Peterson got there. That was his record.
mhm,
This is his third head coach, and now they're 32-50, and he still has a fucking job,
yeah.
which is insane to me.
Well, and I mean, look at Chicago too.
Yeah,
He's hanging there.
yeah.
I think he's probably got one more year in him. They're going to probably give him one more coach.
Which is
Um,
not fair to the coach at all because you're gonna hire a coach, doesn't go good, fire the GM. The GM could come in, not have his guy. He didn't hire that coach, and then
right.
a couple years are not good. You don't fire him, and it's a fucking vicious fucking cycle.
Yeah.
I think you almost need to start over unless you're,
Well,
in those
and
certain type of situations.
you look at the teams that have high coaching turnovers and high, you know, changes at that level as far as getting cut and things like that. You
Yeah,
look at those teams and you see, the Jets, they haven't been good for a decade.
yeah,
You see, Chicago, what have they done?
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders. I mean, these teams that are flying through coaches, they're not getting any results because they're never letting a coach get on
Develop.
the ground and run. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
um,
I agree.
so and I think the Pats jumped on Mayo, and I think that they cut him a little prematurely. I
They
think that
did.
they shouldn't have. I
I
mean, he had a
think.
young quarterback, and
I
I
think
thought
they.
they did better than they were going to.
I think they cut him because of who was available, and I think they already got Vrabel in the pocket.
Yep,
He,
and I was
he's
actually going to talk about that. Is that they're talking to Vrabel, and I think Vrabel's a great fit for that organization.
Yeah, he played there. He knows it.
Yeah,
But I love how Mayo went out. Like, I think he saw the writing on the wall, maybe heard the chirp, and I mean, he went out there on that last game and gave it all and made sure they didn't get that number one pick.
right,
I think that's
right.
hilarious.
No,
Uh,
absolutely.
I think you need if you already do that, you need to probably fire the head coach before that game. You can't let
Yeah,
shit like that slip away because that's a big deal. And then they had a number one pick with a good quarterback. They could have, traded and got two first round picks pretty high, or
right.
something.
Yeah. No,
Um,
they would have probably fucked it up anyway, though.
oh, they will. They will. The
um,
Raiders, I feel sorry for that guy, Pierce,
yeah,
in a way. He came in a bad spot, took
very
over
bad.
a bad spot,
Yeah.
finished the season good. They gave him the spot. Well, I, mean, I guess I don't feel sorry for him because they're getting paid for not working right now. Getting paid big
Well, yeah,
bucks.
but I think the thing with him is again, he came into a situation where he had a locker room that was full of locker room cancers
Oh
and
yeah,
just bad morale, and then you know it him coming in last season kind of corrected that for a hot minute, but this season it obviously came
showed.
back,
Yeah.
and you got a lot of people really boo boo faced. Devontae leaving. You got Max Crosby bitching and pissing and moaning. I mean,
Who
it's
was their
definitely
starting quarterback? He had no chance.
right.
What?
No, absolutely. He had no quarterback. He had nothing, and I think that they cut him too soon too.
They cut him too soon, but they might have hired the wrong guy in the beginning. I think they just
That's
gave it to him because of how he ended. The team was
right,
kind of behind him. They ended the season hot,
right, right.
um, and I think they just jumped into it too quick, which they gave him a chance, I guess.
No, I agree. Did you hear that the Jets have showed interest in Spags?
Who? Oh yeah, yeah.
Spagnola.
Oh, I
The
thought it was
Jets are
Aggie.
uh, now the Jets are showing interest in Spagnola as their head
Huh.
coach and possibly wanting to talk to him about a head coaching interview.
I wouldn't like that.
I wouldn't like that either. I would
That's
really
I
not like that.
love him on the Chiefs.
100%.
I didn't.
Um,
He's been a head coach before. I'm sure. I think right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
He's
remember where, but yes.
yeah. He's been one. That would hurt. That would.
Yeah,
He's
I
building
think
something crazy right now with this.
I think we should just go ahead and start a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And everybody in the Chiefs Kingdom, just go ahead and donate what you can,
Yep.
and we'll just give it to Spags and be like, hey,
Stick
if we
around.
can get him a hot couple million, we could probably keep him.
Give him some promises. Say when Andy's done, you can have it.
Right, because I mean, here's the real thing: is everybody's talked about Nagy being the replacement and whatnot. Nagy's not
No.
it, man. I
Nag.
don't think that Nagy is it.
I don't like Nagy as an offensive coordinator. To be honest,
I don't either.
he's a good QB coach. I mean,
Yeah,
and the offense coordinators never get the credit, but they get the disgruntled of the Chiefs because they also have Andy calling a lot of plays. So
right, right. But I mean, and that's really the thing is like at times there were times where I was getting pissed off at Bieniemy with his play calling, but Bieniemy always seemed to correct it, and Nagy just
I do not
Nagy just
like his
hasn't
play
yet.
calling. It's
I,
it's very predictable and it's
it
very when it
right,
doesn't work, it really doesn't work, and he doesn't
yeah.
change it. fucking
Right.
lets it keep
Right.
going.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's 3rd and 1 on the 30-yard line. We've been running the ball up their fucking
Yeah,
throat, down
let's
their
do a
throat all
pass.
game long. Let's do a pass. Let's do kind of a
Hmm.
deep pass.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah, no shit. That drives me fucking crazy.
Right.
Oh my
But
god.
I definitely think this coaching situation is something that we will kind of track and continue to be
Feel
on the
like
forefront. You know.
I don't remember, and I don't know if I really paid attention, but it's a lot of fucking people got fired this season.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so this list that we went through. This is all of the head coach firings for this season so far,
Hmm.
apart from Mike McCarthy because somehow I missed that.
Yeah,
So that's the list so far. I mean, the teams in need of coaches are the Cowboys, Raiders, Jags, Pats, Jets, Saints, and Chicago.
yeah.
So
It's gonna be
it'll
interesting.
be it'll be yeah, and I kind of one, I don't like when everybody gets fired and things like that, but it does make the off season a little bit more interesting.
Hmm. I agree. Something to pay attention
So
to.
do you want to move on to the wild card and kind of talk
Yeah,
about that?
yeah.
So
I got
we got
and
a lot of good football going on right now, a lot of fun football.
we got. Do you think there's gonna be an upset?
I do.
Do you think it's okay? On three, let's say it out loud. One, two,
Two,
three.
three, the
Broncos.
Rams.
Who?
Did that work?
Oh
I
no.
let's try that again. Okay.
One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
three. The Rams,
Rams.
Broncos. um, no, I honestly I see the Rams possibly upsetting the Vikings. I think Sam
Yes.
Darnold didn't look so great in his big game against the Lions, and
Yeah.
Stafford's Stafford's a tried and
One of
true
the guys.
tested quarterback.
And Puka,
So
and they got some of
yeah,
them weird wide receivers that you never hear of, and they're fucking good. They're
right.
fucking good. No, I could see that. Which game you want to start with? You want to start with the Chargers Texans?
Yeah. We'll just start at the Saturday lineup. Yeah, we got
Okay.
Chargers at Texans. Um, the spread's 3 for the Chargers. The over under is 41.5, and you can get Houston money line at plus 135. I think that the Chargers take this game.
I'm betting the Chargers just off of their coach, and I like their coach.
Yeah. Well, and
Uh,
the Chargers are putting it together right now,
yeah.
and it almost seems like the Texans are falling apart right now. So,
So
um,
they winner of this game plays Chiefs.
um, possibly. I didn't write down the seeding, but I believe we will play the
No, it's
lowest
Broncos
remaining
Bills.
seed.
We play the winner of the Broncos Bills.
No, we'll play the lowest remaining seed.
Oh, so it doesn't matter. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
whoever is the lowest remaining seed will play.
Oh, that's so they fucking seed after first round, kind of.
No, it'll be so like if we'll say like an 8 seed wins in the first round, then we would play them, or if they
No
were the
matter
lowest seed.
what
No
bracket.
matter, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that
So
that makes sense.
it, is based off seeding.
That's good because uh, Chiefs need a fucking little buffer because I'm worried we're gonna start out slow.
I'm looking at all these teams. I don't really see a buffer except
There's
if
not
somehow
the Texans.
Denver or Houston
I'm worried
get
about
through.
Denver.
Yeah,
I think there's something there in Denver. I
I think Denver's starting to put it together.
Yeah, that's gonna fucking suck. And
I
the
don't. I don't think that they're going to make. I don't see Denver upsetting Buffalo.
yeah,
I think that when you look at it, I think that actually, hold on, I'll pause that. We'll move on. We'll talk about the next Saturday game.
sorry.
That's the Steelers at the Ravens, and the
Okay.
Ravens are a 9.5 point favorite. 43.5 is the over under, and you can grab Pitt at plus 380 on the money line pick.
Jesus
Um,
Christ. Is Zay
I
Flowers injury? That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. That is a big deal, and
He gets
I
over a
don't.
quarter of all their shit. Sorry, go
And
ahead.
and here's the thing, man. Do you remember at the beginning of the season when the Ravens weren't really putting it together?
Yeah.
that can always come back. And I think that the Steelers are a lot more durable of a team than people think.
Yeah,
And I do think that the Ravens take it, but I think that it's a lot closer than 9.5.
I've bet
I
this.
think that it's a field goal.
I've bet the Steelers money line the last 2 games, because I'm like, they can't lose 3 in a row.
Right,
Okay, they can't lose 4 in a row, and now I'm
right.
like, God, there's no way they lose 5 in a
That's
fucking row, right?
that's the biggest thing right now is the Steelers have been falling apart.
Why?
Um, what
Why?
I I'll be honest, I haven't really watched too many of their last games, but I don't know.
I think. I think. Um. Okay, so first of all, Russell Wilson is one of those fucking annoying do goods ass coach. Like
Right,
perfect person, perfect, does everything to the T, always says the right things,
right,
and always fucking trying to uplift everyone when I think everyone on the team is getting sick of it. I think they're getting
yeah,
frustrated with him. And I
I can see that.
think it's getting to him, and because
Yeah,
just I seen a video of it was 4 games ago when he's telling one of his players, "Let's win out the next 4. It's okay, we're gonna win." Or yeah, it was 3, whatever. And this the dude's just looking at him like, "Yeah, motherfucker, throw the ball,"
right,
you know.
right. We're gonna try
Um,
to win.
yeah, no shit. I think they could win though. I mean, they got a TJ Watt. They got a solid defense.
Yeah,
Zay Flowers, if he's out, it's going to be closer to 9. Yeah, I don't want to say money line, but that spread is a lot.
yeah. 9.5 is a lot of points in a playoff game,
And
especially against the Steelers.
they always play each other hard.
They do.
That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah,
I'm watching
yeah. But
that.
I think Ravens take it. I think Ravens take it by a field goal.
Yeah, I can see that.
So next we got the Denver and the Buffalo game, and we got Buffalo 8.5 point spread. That's again a big spread.
That's huge.
47.5 is the over under.
Um,
Um,
is
so
is the Bills' defense really? I don't know if they're really that great.
they're hit or miss.
Yes,
Um, but their offense is always pretty
they're
on.
they're
But if
good.
you can shut that offense down,
Uh huh.
then you can handle the Bills. Denver's got a good defense.
You got a good defense, and some Bo Nix get 1 or 2 big plays.
See, that's the thing. I think it comes down to Bo Nix versus Josh Allen.
And I don't like that.
I can't pick a rookie quarterback over Josh Allen.
Nope, I can't
So
either.
I think Buffalo takes it. I on the point wise, man, I don't know. I think it
Any
might be a touchdown, but
any playoff games, I'm money line in it. I don't
yep,
care because there is
yep,
so much that could happen, and
100%.
it, I'm not going to risk that spread and drive me crazy.
Right, right. I mean, I'll say for the Chargers, I might tease that spread to 2.5. I'd ride
Um,
on that.
oh, I like that because I think the Texans are, well. First of all, they're banged up, big
Right.
time, and they haven't. They're not the same Texans as they were after.
Yeah. Next we got Green Bay, Philly. Philly is a 5.5,
Bro,
5.5 favorite on the spread.
what the fuck happened to Green
45 and a
Bay,
half.
bro?
I was thinking that same thing, man. Coming into the playoffs or getting geared up for the playoffs, they looked good, and then Chicago.
Yeah, they were that team all year long. Like it was them
Right,
or the Lions. Them or the
right,
Lions. They lost the
right,
Lions. Okay, but then they won. Um,
right.
did they beat Vikings or lose to Vikings?
I believe they beat the Vikings.
Yeah, they were doing good, and then they've just like the last few games, it's just been fucking downhill. And I mean, what seed are they even?
That's a good question. I'm sorry, I got the Texas game up
Well,
on my
oh
phone
no, you're
here.
good. You don't have to look it up. But I know the Commanders are a higher seed than them.
Yes, I
That is
believe
one
so.
team I wouldn't want to play first round. That's not a
The Commanders?
No, the Packers.
The Packers. Yeah. I agree to that. I can't see what seed they are.
And is Jalen Hurts still in
Oh, I'm sorry. They
concussion?
did not beat the Vikings. The Vikings
Realize.
beat them.
Okay.
What did you say? Sorry,
Is
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts still? Is he out?
I
Oh,
don't
he clears
think so.
concussion protocol
Yeah.
today. They were
Yep.
pushing it off, dude. I closer and closer to the end of the week, and I'm like, oh no,
Right.
that's gonna be funny.
I I think in this one with Saquon playing the way that he's playing and Philly being a little bit more of a rounded team, I think Philly takes it. That 5.5 points is pretty rough though.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah.
Just cause.
Yeah. That one might money line it for me.
And Jalen Hurts hasn't played in 3 weeks, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So money line is not bad. Fucking not a bad call.
Yeah.
Money line of
Next.
Saquon fucking touchdown.
Right. Next we got that's actually a good call. Next we got Washington at Tampa Bay.
What
Tampa
time is that
Bay.
game?
I think that's the late game.
Sorry, I keep talking over you, brother.
No, you're good. I think that's the late game.
Okay.
So Tampa Bay, 3-point favorite on the spread. 50.5 is the points. You can grab Washington at plus 140 on the money line. Green Bay, sorry to go back, but Green Bay is plus 210 on the money line. But you can grab Washington at plus 140.
What's your thoughts on this game? Because I always bet Tampa
This
Bay.
this game is, I think, potentially going to be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it. I think this is another game that might come down to Baker versus Jaden, and
Um.
I think that Daniels has a better shot than Bo Nix.
Yeah. So it's been there's a stat that like rookie or their first playoffs versus a veteran quarterback, it's like 23%
Right.
against the spread, which I hate. I like the win rate but against the spread, which isn't very high. But that is one game that could win. Is Houston about or is Ohio State about to score?
I don't know. You made me turn off my phone.
I didn't make you do nothing, bro. Just like
Don't.
Emily, always blaming me for
Whoa,
everything.
whoa! Don't get hot at me, bro. Don't
No,
get hot
I've
at
had
me,
some shit I
bro.
want to go. She went to get food. I'm gonna fucking lay into her right now.
Oh shit! I do not condone this. Go ahead, though.
No, I better not.
Yeah, you better
This is
not, dude.
recorded.
This will be recorded and on YouTube.
I love my baby.
Yeah, she's great. All of the wives and women in our lives are great. But let's go on to Washington, Tampa Bay. I think that I think Tampa Bay takes it.
I do too.
God, but I think
Washington,
it's a toss up.
Washington at home.
Tampa Bay is at
Tampa Bay's
home.
at home.
Yep, I think that gives them a little bit of an extra
Fucking
step
like
up.
Mike Evans too.
All right, hold on a sec. Let's kick over to college football here. Ohio State is about to score,
Mm-hmm.
and Ohio State just scored.
I need
Sorry,
I
Corey.
need the over to hit 42 points, bro. So I need Texas to get down there, which we're looking good. If Texas scores again, that means another team's gonna have to score again, and the over is gonna hit.
Right. So you
Obviously,
just
that
have an over going on this one.
no, I have Ohio State minus 2.5 and over 42.2
Okay.
or
Okay.
something like
So you
that.
need. Okay, I see what you're riding. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ohio State is 20 points, Texas 14 right now. Back into the NFL, we got that Monday night game, that Vikings at the Rams that we already kind of talked about. Now here
Yes.
is the one thing about this game. This game is going to be at a neutral site.
Why?
21.
Oh, fire.
Fires. Yep.
You think
So
that's
it's going to be at a neutral site. I believe it's Arizona.
why? I thought the Vikings would have home field.
You know, they didn't beat the Lions. They didn't win their division.
See,
So
that's
I think it bumped them in seeding, and so, but they're 3-point favorite. The spread's 347.5 is the over under, and the Rams you can grab them at plus 125. Like I said, I will be grabbing the Rams money line 100% for sure.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
do
ride with you.
not see the Vikings taking this. I see Justin Jefferson getting frustrated. I see Sam Darnold shit in the bed,
Hmm.
and I see the Rams taking it by 10 points. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, and that's another one of those. I like both coaches, but Sean McVay's a problem,
Yeah, yeah,
and he's a good coach, and he's just
yeah,
like Andy Reid, offensive oriented fucking coach.
yeah,
You
for
know.
sure. So that's wild card week one. I think it's a good week for football.
Yep.
I think that you know, personally, I'd like to see Denver beat Buffalo.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen, but I'd love to see that because that would Buffalo. To be honest, Buffalo is the one team I don't really want to see in the playoffs, but
Yeah.
we do have a pretty good record against them. So
Yeah. Do you want to sprinkle a little Chiefs in here? How you feeling?
little Chiefs, yeah. What do you want to anything to say about the Chiefs?
I don't like the break, man. Been too long. It's too long.
I I can agree, but I think that
Rest first, rest.
the Chiefs we always seem to just kick it on in the playoffs,
We
though.
do. That's what I was telling my uncle. They were talking shit on Kelsey, and I was like,
Yeah,
you see, like these veteran players, they do enough just to get by, and then towards the end of the season, because they can't go 100, like can't give it all the whole season.
right,
They won't last, and then
right,
they kick it on an extra gear, and
right.
it's like some Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant shit, and
Right. Well, I think the playoff Chiefs are just a different beast altogether. I think that you know Spags has got a bunch of shit up his sleeve, and the nice thing about being in the number one seed and not playing the last week is we got to completely pull away our plays and just show nobody anything.
hmm
And give us a couple weeks to kind of scheme and work on some shit behind the scenes. I think it could be good.
letting Denver know we won't forget what they did. They went a little too overboard.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't beat us in, well, they beat us
I
last
know,
year,
but
but
they
yeah.
went a little too much, and we won't forget that.
Well,
They
I
didn't,
mean, it's
they didn't
always
have to
it'll
do that.
be it could be nice if they did win. I believe that we would play them next round, and it could be nice to send them home.
Fuck yeah.
So
And Arrowhead.
there's that. So that's wild card, man, and little Chiefs. I there's not much else going on really in Chiefs Kingdom.
There's not
Um,
a little bit
but
of ESPN drama. You want to touch on it all?
ESPN drama. Oh, you mean the Fox Sports
Oh
drama?
yeah, they're all Fox Sports now.
Yeah, Fox Sports. So we're gonna say allegedly a lot, and I'm
Okay.
gonna try not to get too. So
Okay, so
let me
you've read
backtrack
it
here.
and you know more than me.
Hold on. Let's
Cause
let's do a quick overview of what we're talking about.
okay, go.
Um, so I'm gonna totally destroy her name. I'm sorry. Nushin Farahi
Yes.
um,
Oh.
was a hairdresser at Fox Sports and recently launched a class action and individual suit, a class action against Fox Sports for failure to pay overtime, minimum wage expenses, kind of things like that.
Yeah.
And then individual complaints for sexual battery, hostile work environment for sex, gender, race, and disability, and then retaliation and wrongful termination. The main defendants in this case, as far as individuals go, are Skip Bayless, Charlie Dixon, who's an executive vice president of content for FS1, and then Joy Taylor. So that is the rough overview. She
Joy
is
Taylor's not a
suing.
victim.
Joy Taylor is not a victim. So Joy Taylor allegedly was so Miss Farahi did her hair for
Yeah.
about 8 years.
Okay.
And she requested her on numerous shows as she moved on, from Unfiltered to
She had a
Speak or
podcast.
whatever the
Yeah.
show she is now. So she brought her along,
Okay.
and apparently when she was being targeted near the end of her employment there, Miss Taylor kind of turned on her and stated that Miss Farahi did not know how to do black woman's hair, even though she'd been doing it for 8 years,
Yes.
and then decided to bring in different hairdressers. So,
Okay.
but yeah, the main thing really that we're going to kind of talk about today, because I think, like I said, I read there's a 42 page affidavit, and I've actually read it twice now. And so we could do an probably hour and a half long podcast
Crime in
on
sports.
this case alone, and you would see me freaking lose my shit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of skip it to Skip Bayless because I already don't like
Yeah.
Skip. So it'll just be kind of a fun thing. So
Yes.
we're gonna go through the bullet points of what allegedly Skip Bayless has done. So it kind of started out with extended hugs, pressing against her chest, and then like kind of kissing her on the cheek. Numerous times there were inappropriate conversations allegedly while he was getting his hair done and things like this. And this all is coming from the affidavit. So there was also times where he was trying to get her to come to his residence to do a haircut and things like that. And then it started to get a little bit more aggressive. He offered her at one point $1.5 million to have sex with him, which this is the only time I'm going to stray away from being serious in this conversation. I am going to say, on the high end, how much do you think like the top tier prostitute, like sex worker, would be?
A quarter of that,
Yeah.
if that.
I mean, and that's even on the high end. Like I'm thinking
That's
like
crazy.
10, 20K, like 1.5, like that's a crazy payday. But
Yeah, not a quarter of that. A fucking fraction. Yeah.
but that is totally 100% inappropriate.
One more
Numerous.
inappropriate comment before we get serious again. Bro,
Go
if
ahead.
I was a chick, I would be smashing all those dudes and beating. I would get paid. Anyway, go.
Well, I actually had that conversation, and I just don't think I could ever do anything with Skip. And we'll get into that. So eventually he got angry at her and kept accusing her of having relations with Shannon Sharp. And that's where things kind of started going south. He stopped getting his hair done by her and kind of froze her out, which then caused her not to have work. They moved her to part time, some other things like that, and then he figured out that they weren't having relations, and allegedly, and approached her and basically tried to rectify the situation, but then continued to say things like, "I can change your life. One night with me would change your life." Inappropriate touching and things like that. So now this, like I said, this case gets crazier and crazier when you start looking in what Dixon did and what Taylor allegedly is a part of. But what I will say is Skip Bayless is a little fucking prick.
Yes.
And has always been a fucking prick.
Douche.
And Ohio State just scored a touchdown.
Ohio.
So yeah, Ohio State just scored a touchdown. But Skip Bayless, if
what are we doing, Skip? You gotta fucking his wife. What's her name?
Dude?
Gretchen.
I don't fucking know.
Is.
I don't care.
I shouldn't know that. This fucking loser, this horny old man, out here, fucking wilding out with some money.
Right. Well, and trying to, use his influence to push somebody into having a sexual relationship. It's absolutely disgusting.
Love if she had a video recording catching him doing this.
Right. That's what I'm really interested about, because obviously if it's made it to this point, I believe that there's probably evidence. There's probably a lot of receipts.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see that all come out. And we will continue to cover this. And like I said, there is a possibility that I will try to talk you into doing a super deep dive special episode just on
You
this
gotta talk
sometime.
me into it. I'm ready. The thing is, cases like this, in situations like this, these people will pay just to get it,
Quiet.
steal documents,
Right.
nothing ever come out,
Right.
to get over with and pay. I haven't seen no statement from Skip.
Nope, I haven't either.
I've seen Shannon Sharp say something about leave me out of it, but
Yep.
whatever. Uh and then the Joy Taylor thing.
I mean,
So
she's back on Speak.
oh yeah, her and Joy were friends,
Yes.
and they were talking, and I guess she came to Joy and brought it up, and Joy said, "No, don't say nothing," and kind of like let her in on what she's done. Like, for lack of a better term, she's kind of slept her way to the top.
Allegedly.
Yes, to the top there, or not just to maybe in the position or whatever. Um, and then, so I've been seeing little think pieces like maybe this is all over. Well, Joy kicked her off, but maybe she was messing with one of Joy's dudes or something, and a little
Okay, so
jealous.
here we can dive into this because I have information. So Joy Taylor and Miss Fry started their friendship early on,
Okay.
and Joy was just kind of a second-rate anchor person. Allegedly, they went out to dinner one night, and there was a man there that obviously uh, appeared that him and Miss Taylor were friendly in that sort of way. And that man turned out to be Charlie Dixon, who was the executive vice president of content for FS1.
Uh-huh.
Shortly thereafter, allegedly, he pushed to get her on to Unfiltered. Skip didn't want it. Shannon was indifferent, but Skip didn't want it, and he pushed and got her on Unfiltered. So that was early on in their friendship, and that was before the alleged stuff with Skip. So
Yes.
they had been friends for, I believe it was 7-8 years, and then later on, Miss Taylor got onto another show by having a similar relationship with that show's producer. I can't remember his name. I believe it was Suji or something like that. Don't quote me. I can't remember
Yeah.
his name. But because I didn't get that, I didn't write down all that notes.
No.
But
Oh no.
yeah.
It was I say his name like Ocho Cinco, but it's not that.
Yes.
And those two had a podcast together. We only did one season, and it's not renewing. And he's going back and deleting old tweets, but you can't do that on Twitter. These motherfuckers are on his
Right.
ass.
Right. As soon as the shit broke, screenshots are happening.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, okay, sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, I mean that's essentially the Taylor part of it.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, eventually she started to suggest that the woman who has done her hair for 8 years on numerous shows, every show she's gotten to, she's brought her over, now doesn't know how to do her hair.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems, right at the time that all the executives are turning on her for starting to speak out and starting to connect. And there's a lot of other stuff. There was a woman inside of the office that was having like these mental breaks where she was threatening to kill her with scissors, and HR's response allegedly was just leave the room when she's having one of these breaks. And then there was allegations of sexual harassment brought up to HR as well, and the same thing was leave the room when these things are happening. Allegedly.
This has kind of been a quiet thing too. It's not getting a lot of pub.
Of course, it's not getting a lot of publicity. Who's going to talk about it? The only people that are going to talk about this are going to be sports news people. Yeah. But why would you? You're not going to talk shit on another sports news exec. No. Like, because eventually one day we all know that Charlie Dixon isn't going to get in trouble. We all
No.
know that he is going to continue to be at Fox Sports. We know this. So why would you talk shit and potentially burn a bridge with the only
Absolutely.
other massive sports, news center? So that's I think that's why it's not getting talked about, which is fucking shitty.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sucks that everybody's scared of these people because they have, quote unquote influence and power, but it's all fucking bullshit, man.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
fire them and their influence and power goes away, and then you put another fucking person in their place. It's not like it's a fucking, obvious. It's probably not a hard job.
no. And see, the thing how I believe all this shit works is that guy, the higher up, probably it's like the first time he's done it.
No,
Been doing it for a
no,
long time.
absolutely.
She's not the only person that knows. A lot
Right,
of people know.
right. And I'm sure a
Um,
lot of people got paid off with gag orders. It was just me speculating.
no, I mean that's usually how it goes, and maybe people above him or any of that situation are doing the same type of shit, or
Right,
already know about it, so they're in a bad spot. They can't. So it's just. I wish she. I always wish she wouldn't. I can't tell someone not to take some money because
right,
obviously it's gonna be life changing money if it goes to that. But I
right,
also want people exposed and people brought to the front and the truth to come out and
right.
shit so it's gonna be interesting to watch. I would enjoy us to keep maybe coming back to it if new shit comes up, more stuff
Yeah,
comes up. We should keep bringing it up.
yeah. No, we'll definitely keep tracking it. Obviously, like I said, I read the affidavit twice, so I'm a little invested. Um, so we'll definitely keep an eye on the
Yeah,
situation,
I
and
like that.
hopefully something comes from it.
Uh huh. Hell yeah,
But
brother.
well, hey, brother, that's all I got for this week. You got anything else you want to add, talk
No,
about?
man, that's it. It's coming into football season, so we're
Yeah,
gonna start talking maybe a little hockey,
yeah, I
some
like that.
basketball here and there.
Yeah,
I've been kind of getting into the little NBA, like OKC's fun to watch.
okay,
Um,
okay.
but
I'm
also
not a
if
huge NBA guy, but I'll give it a shot.
if we start like we could do like breakdowns of fucking shit like this in sports.
Yeah,
But no,
do some interesting events in sport.
stories,
I'm
yeah,
okay with that.
yeah, that'd be fun. Oh shit, Ohio's pick off. Um, God damn it, they're not gonna cover the spread or the over. Sorry, but yeah, man, that's it for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for us.
All
Come
right,
back
man,
again next week.
for sure,
Same
for
time,
sure.
same channel.
All right, peace, bro.
Later, man.